The emergency session of the Galactic Council convened within hours of the incident. Representatives from 47 species materialized in their holographic forms around the crystalline chamber, their collective anxiety palpable even through the quantum link. At the center of the discussion stood two humans, Commander Bella Chen of the Terran Defense Fleet and Ambassador Feroz Ahmed of the Human Diplomatic Corps. The Zetherian High Chancellor, his tentacles writhing with agitation, spoke first. "Commander Chen, your actions at the Kepler station have sent shockwaves throughout the galaxy. You destroyed an entire Krell battle group without warning, without negotiation. This is not how civilized species conduct themselves." Bella stood perfectly still, her dark eyes cold as the void itself. She wore her dress uniform, crisp and decorated with ribbons that told stories of 100 battles. "With respect, Chancellor, civilized species don't butcher unarmed colonists. The Krell murdered 17,000 humans at New Sahara, men, women, children. They broadcast the massacre as a warning." Ambassador Feroz stepped forward, his voice measured but firm. He had spent 15 years building bridges between humanity and the Galactic Council. Now those bridges were burning. The Council needs to understand something fundamental about humans. We tried your way. We filed complaints, we attended mediation sessions, we offered reparations for alleged territorial violations. The Krell responded by killing our people. The Valerian representative, a crystalline being that communicated through prismatic light patterns, flickered nervously, but the Krell offered to negotiate after Kepler Station. They proposed a prisoner exchange, territory concessions. They offered to return the bodies. Bella interrupted, her voice sharp as a blade. "They wanted us to bargain for the corpses of our children. That's not negotiation. That's mockery." Feroz pulled up a holographic display. Images materialized in the center of the chamber. Images that made several species representatives recoil. The New Sahara colony after the Krell attack. Residential domes torn open. Schools reduced to debris. The recording of Krell Commander Thaxor laughing as he ordered the systematic extermination of civilians. "You ask why we don't bargain with murderers," Feroz said quietly. "Look at these images and ask yourselves, would you?" The Avarian ambassador, a bird-like creature known for her philosophical wisdom, spoke gently. "Ambassador Ahmed, we understand your pain, but violence begets violence. The Krell have one of the largest fleets in the galaxy. If you continue this path, it will mean war, a war that could consume us all." Bella's expression didn't change. "Then you misunderstand the situation entirely. The war began when the Krell murdered 17,000 souls. We're simply finishing it." "This is madness," the Zetherian Chancellor exclaimed. "Your species has been part of the galactic community for barely 50 years. The Krell Empire spans 3,000 star systems. They have weapons that can crack planets. You cannot possibly—" "We already did," Bella said flatly. "While this council debated and discussed, while you drafted your resolutions and scheduled your committees, we acted. The Krell homeworld surrendered 2 hours ago." The chamber erupted in chaos. Holographic forms flickered and distorted as representatives shouted over each other. The very idea seemed impossible. The Krell Empire had stood for millennia, had conquered dozens of species, had never known defeat. Feroz raised his hand and gradually the chamber quieted. "Let me explain something about humans that you've never quite understood. We're not the strongest species. We're not the smartest, not the longest lived, not the most technologically advanced. But we have something that you've mistaken for weakness, we remember." He gestured and new images appeared. Historical records from Earth. Wars, genocides, atrocities committed by humans against other humans. We know what monsters look like because we've been them. We've fought our own demons for thousands of years. We know the language of violence because we've spoken it fluently amongst ourselves. Bella continued the thought. "Every species in this council evolved as either prey or predator. You learned either to run or to hunt. Humans, we learned to do both. We were prey that became predators. We hunted creatures larger and stronger than ourselves, using nothing but persistence and intelligence. And when we finally stopped hunting each other, we learned something crucial." "What?" the Avarian ambassador asked, genuinely curious despite her horror. "That mercy is a choice," Bella replied. "Not a weakness. We choose peace not because we're incapable of violence, but because we understand exactly what violence costs. But when that choice is taken from us, when someone murders our children and laughs about it, we remember how to be what we once were." Feroz pulled up tactical data. The Krell homeworld surrounded by human vessels. Not the massive dreadnoughts the galaxy expected, but smaller ships. Faster, more numerous. We didn't crack their planets. We didn't glass their cities. We disabled their fleet, neutralized their weapons, and gave them the same choice they gave our colonists at New Sahara: surrender or die. They chose surrender, Bella added. Because unlike us, they value their own lives more than their pride. The Zetharian Chancellor's tentacles went still. You're asking us to accept a new precedent. That murder goes unpunished if the murderer is strong enough. No, Feroz corrected. We're telling you that precedent is dead. Humans don't bargain with murderers. We don't care how big your empire is, how old your civilization, how many weapons you possess. Touch our people and we will end you. Not debate you. Not negotiate with you. End you. The Avarian ambassador tilted her head. And if the galaxy unites against you? If we decide humanity is too dangerous to coexist with? Bella met her gaze steadily. Then you'll learn what the Krell learned. We're not asking for your approval. We're informing you of reality. The age of negotiating with butchers is over. Feroz softened slightly. We don't want to be your enemy. We want to be your friends, your partners in building a better galaxy. But friendship requires mutual respect, and respect means understanding that some lines cannot be crossed. The chamber fell silent. The representatives looked at each other, at the humans standing before them, at the tactical data showing human vessels now patrolling former Krell territory. Finally, the Valerian spoke, her crystalline form pulsing with resignation. What happens now? Now, Feroz said, the Krell face justice. Real justice. War crimes tribunals. Reparations. Their military dismantled and their government restructured. And every species in this galaxy learns a simple truth. Bella finished the thought, her voice carrying the weight of humanity's resolve. Humans don't bargain with murderers. We make examples of them. As the session ended and the holograms faded, the galaxy understood. Humanity had announced itself not as supplicants seeking acceptance, but as a force that would reshape the very nature of galactic civilization. The age of tolerating atrocity in the name of diplomatic convenience had ended. Humanity, fuck yeah, indeed,